Kilmarnock Barassie was the venue for the Carrick Neill Scottish Open Strokeplay Championship 2012, and this testing Ayrshire Links club, which has been used for final Open qualifying, was a popular choice with both the organisers and the competitors. Facilities to suit such a big tournament. There was 144 competitors coming from all over the world, all looking to be on that leaderboard on the final day, and with the course running along the same strip of land as Glasgow Gales and Royal Troon, host of this year's Amateur Championship. The course is well protected by wind, length and a few deep bunkers, as demonstrated here on the last by Ólafur Loftsson from Iceland. A tough test it may have been, but Hayden Porteous from South Africa had set a new amateur course record on day one with a 65. Unfortunately for Hayden though, he'd followed that with a 75, and here having to roll in a lengthy putt just to hold par at the 16th in his third round, where he shot a 78 to move down the leaderboard. But what about the Scots? Well, Graham Robertson here teeing off in the first. He'd been showing some good form recently, but unfortunately he couldn't carry that into this tournament and finished in a tie for 35th. Paul Shields had enjoyed a good run in this tournament last year when it was played up at Blairgowrie, finishing third. And he was only a couple of shots off the lead at the halfway mark and may well have been looking to improve on that result. But by the time he played this rather tidy little bunker shot at the 18th, he'd slipped down the field and tapped in that putt to finish 13th. He was out with Matthew Steiger from Australia, who was also only a couple off the lead at the halfway mark. We joined Matthew on his final round at the par 3 fourth with a very nice tee shot indeed. He managed to keep his form running through the third round and was still close to the lead in the fourth under the watchful eye of former Scottish amateur champion Michael Stewart. As he reached the green for this birdie putt, rolled it in no bother. Unfortunately didn't have the killer finish required to win the tournament and finished in 4th place. There were a number of players who had made the journey from France to play in this tournament, among them Clement Batu. Here we see him in his final round on the 12th, rolling in a lovely putt for a birdie, on his way to finishing at 4 under par for the tournament in 6th place. In tough conditions in the third round, Englishman Ben Stowe had shot a 72, the lowest in the entire field. At this point the wind was a real factor, and Ben showing what it takes to score well on links golf when the wind is up. A beautiful chip and run which led to a birdie at 16. He would eventually finish in 7th place. Over on the 14th, Lionel Webber from France. Missing the green here at the par 3, but a nice chip, giving him the opportunity to save par during his third round. Lionel had been leading at one point, but a 4th round 75 saw him finish in 5th place. His playing partner was this man, Ross Bell from Downfield. He'd been leading going into the final round and had shown some real good form over the links down in Ayrshire. Unfortunately for Ross though, it wasn't to last. Here we see him just off the green in a bunker at the 16th, and a magnificent shot, nearly holing it, but it was one of very few highlights. His final round 80 saw him finish in 20th spot. That meant that top Scot for the tournament this year was Greg Marchbank from Dumfries County. A marvellous long putt here. Greg played steady golf over the 4 rounds and finished in 10th spot. Greg's playing partner was another Frenchman, Paul Barjon. He'd started the day just a couple off the lead, and sinking a lovely birdie putt here at 16, he was very much in the frame coming into the final round, as indeed was this man, Rory Burke from Australia. Here on the last, he had this for a birdie. Unfortunately for Rory though, it took him 2 to get down from there, and he bogeyed the last, and that meant that he finished in 3rd place, behind the man who had lit up the tournament in the first round, Hayden Porteous from South Africa. This was his approach to the final green, and thanks to that shot he rolled in a birdie putt which gave him the runner-up spot at this year's tournament. And indeed he was the only man to break 70 twice. But in the end it was a comfortable victory for Paul Barjon from France. Here on the 16th in his final round, chipping up his third shot, leaving that short putt for a birdie. Indeed it would be the fourth birdie that he'd had in the tournament at this hole. Hailing from the French colony of New Caledonia in the South Pacific, Barjon was obviously used to a little bit of wind, and it didn't faze him at all, and his French teammates were all down to watch him finish at the last. He had this for a spectacular birdie finish. That would have given him a 67. As it was a tap-in for a 68 to finish on 10 under, and a magnificent four-shot victory.
I'm very happy to win this tournament on a fabulous course like this. This morning I played alright, but my putting wasn't so good. But I was just 2 shots from the lead, so it was possible again.
And has this victory made him think about another big tournament coming this way soon?
I will play the Amateur Championship in Troon and in Glasgow Gales, so this is the next step. I played with the French Federation the true course of the Amateur 2 months ago to recognize all of the course, and it was great, but every day is different, so we'll see.